So what was it like, what am I even asking?
I don't know. I'm waiting for you to ask it.
What is it like, Klee?
It's crazy.
Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles.
Hola, you amazing artists! So here we are, in the studio without three big giant pigs in the background. In the last video, I grew up with a family that also thought that it was very unrealistic to think that I could make a career as an artist. As you can see, there were pigs in that video.
But rest assured, they didn't get their houses huffed and puffed and blown down. They just got dropped off and installed.
Yeah, there was no huffing or puffing, other than me trying to put them on the car when it was like 130,000 degrees outside.
Oh yeah, I suppose you were huffing and puffing a little there.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of huffing and puffing and sweating and wetting.
Ew.
So one of the things I want to talk to you guys today is about being ready to take on big corporate commissions or just a big commission. I know that for a lot of you, you may not have the space to be able to do it, or you may feel like you're not prepared to do it.
Or you just recoil in horror at the very thought of it.
Yeah, there's the recoiling in horror at the idea of somebody coming to you and saying like, could you make me a 10-foot painting? One thing that you're definitely going to learn as pursuing your art career is that you are never ready or prepared to be able to take on a job that scares you. And what I mean by that is that I take on commissions that I am interested in doing for my own personal reasons, even if it is outside of my scope of what I believe I am capable of doing.
In other words, you're never ready for it till it's in your face.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God, it's in my face, what do I do?
Anytime that you take on a large commission or a project that maybe you feel that you're not prepared for, it causes you to think outside of the box. It causes you to find some way of being able to do it. With this particular triptych, I could have easily said, well, I don't have enough room in my studio to do it, because truthfully, although my studio is larger than the studios that I've had in the past, it's not big enough to take on a triptych of that size. Had I turned that commission away, I would have felt a disappointment in myself and in my abilities because I wouldn't have even tried.
Studio's never big enough. It's never going to be big enough, and so you just gotta make it work.
You gotta make it work. If it's something that you want to do, if you're interested in doing it, if you notice, I keep saying if you're interested in doing it. I'm not talking about just taking on a commission. I mean, if you are personally interested in taking on a certain commission, then you should definitely take on the commission. So the reason I want to talk about this, because one of my biggest constraints has always been space. When it comes to like my ability or figuring out a technique or something like that, I have the utmost confidence in myself that I'll be able to figure it out. There is no doubt in my mind that I could figure this thing out. One of the first large commissions that I got that took up the entire studio was for Taco Agave. It was a 10-foot painting.
Yeah, and I looked at it and I was like, whoa, that painting is huge. That's the biggest painting that we could possibly fit in the studio.
Yeah.
And I was incorrect.
Then I got a commission from Orin Industries, which was a big painting. How big was that one? That was 15 feet?
It was like 15 feet long.
4-panel painting. Wasn't really sure how I was going to pull it off. That one definitely took over.
Yeah, just for reference, our studio is approximately 15 feet long.
Yes. Yeah, it was as long as the studio.
I was over here like, oh,
yeah. Then, of course, I get to do this piece for Urban Winery, which is opening up in Pensacola, which I am super excited about. Go pig or go home, man.
It's gonna be so awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. Went in, saw the space, realized that we needed to go with some big painting. So I was super excited for doing this piece for them because I love them. And I wanted to do something amazing, and I had this amazing idea in my mind for it, so there was no way that I was going to pass it up. Of course, then I got home and I was taking measurements, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pull this off.
Yeah, you looked at the space and you were like, we need to put some big pigs on it. And then we got home and we were like, them's gonna be some big ass pigs. How are we gonna fit them big pigs in here?
We need these big pigs in here. And as you could see from some of these pictures, like there was barely enough room for me to move around. But when it came down to working on the pieces themselves, I made sure to give myself enough room. I ended up taking apart the studio and put it back together in a much better way than it was set up before. I could easily work on much larger pieces now. And that's the thing. I would have never changed the studio if it wasn't for the fact that I took on that commission. So it pushed me outside of my comfort zone in order to be able to make some adjustments, which ended up being way, way better than what was there previously.
With only minor mishaps.
Yeah.
I only got trapped here at my desk twice.
Klee invested an entire, into a table, but her leg didn't go high enough.
Yeah, I went for it and misgauged the lip of the table. My bad. Yeah. Rafi heard, ah!
Ah! Ah! The cool thing with this particular commission is, I love the people that commissioned me to do this. And the other thing is that we got to meet the interior designers that were there, Studio Pika, that were instrumental in helping me to put together this commission, and also as far as hanging these giant paintings up.
Yeah, they were amazingly rad humans who were tremendously awesome.
Yeah, total shout out to Nick and Mallory.
You guys rock.
So one of the other challenges that we have when we take on big commissions like that is that we have a small vehicle that is not designed for big giant paintings.
We drive a Canary, as our friend would say.
Yeah, we drive a Canary. Now, there is a solution to that. You could always rent a U-Haul or something like that. So, don't think that you have to, do the stuff that we do if you do take on a big commission. So I built this thing. Yeah, I built this thing with leftover wood out in the carport in order to be able to mount the paintings on the side of the car.
To make those pigs fly.
To make those pigs fly, baby.
I had to sit in the back seat because I couldn't get in my side of the car.
Yeah.
It was like Miss Daisy.
Yeah. I was like, where do you want to go next, Miss Daisy?
And I was like, don't talk to me.
I think to myself, had I not taken on that commission, I wouldn't have experienced not only what I experienced during the install, which was so much fun, between Nick and Mel helping us hang up the paintings, which honestly, they did most of the work, and they're awesome. There was also Lisa, which is amazing to meet her, and she was taking photographs of us, which I'm completely awkward when it comes to photographs.
Don't smile. Okay, look at your wife. That's to look at Jane. Look at Jane. Hello. Don't smile at Jane.
We tried our best to come up with badass artist faces, but I'm pretty sure we were laughing through the whole thing.
Yeah. I just don't know. When somebody's like, pose serious, I'm like... So I know that this video is a little bit all over the place. Essentially what this video really is me showing off the 3 pigs that I created because they're so freaking awesome and I'm so proud of them. So if any of you are wondering what it ended up looking like, then here you go. This is a really bad image for all of you awesome artists out there. And there's Klee. And they helped me, by the way. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Very excited, as you can see. The other point of this video, and if I were to say that there was a moral to this story, take on things that you feel that you're not ready for, because it is totally worth it as far as the experiences. And not only the experience, but being able to get through that project, being able to figure things out, being able to learn new ways of doing things, and learn that you can count on yourself to figure something out. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row and have everything prepared. You can figure out your own way to be able to accomplish something that maybe you thought was impossible. And what that does for you is in the future, when there are things that maybe seem like they're impossible, you'll start to have a little bit more hope in the fact that, yeah, you know what, maybe I could figure this out. And don't stop believing in your ability to be able to accomplish things. They're only impossible if you decide not to do it, honestly.
In other words, don't stop, get it.
Don't stop, get it. So a big shout out to Nick and Mal. Jane at Global Grill and Urban Swinery, and Lisa Long. You guys were awesome. You guys are fun, and I love you guys. And if you guys have any stories about a time where you went completely outside of your comfort zone and tried something that you thought was impossible and then got through it and what the experience was. Also, if you have any questions for us about art, life, or anything in between, just put them in the comment section below as well. You may not like my answer, but you know, that's the beauty of opinions. We all have them. And thank you so much for watching, you guys. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing. I totally adore you. And if you like this and you want to watch more like this, just click right over here to subscribe. And that's it. Say goodbye, Klee.
Good day.
Adios.